Good afternoon, children. Welcome to your I Learn English language class. Today we are going to start a new chapter, which is a very important chapter in English language, which is synthesis of sentences. Chapter number 18 in your textbooks, page number 145. So we will begin and I will share the screen with you. Please stay with me and try to concentrate and understand things first. Okay. So synthesis of sentences. First of all, we all know we have done that sentence, the based on structure sentences are of three kinds. Based on the structure of the sentence, sentences are simple, compound, and complex. We have done this before. So what is synthesis of sentence? Synthesis, the word synthesis means combining, combination. Okay, combining sentences. So synthesis of sentences means combining sentences together. So synthesis of sentence is a combination of simple sentences to form new sentences. The new sentence can be either a simple sentence, a compound sentence, or a complex sentence. So again, I'm repeating this. A synthesis of sentence means combining simple sentences to form new sentences. Again, in these new sentences, the meaning of the sentence will not change. Without changing the meaning of the sentence, we are going to combine simple sentences into a new sentence. And this new sentence can be either a simple sentence, a compound sentence, or a complex sentence. We already know, but we will revise that a simple sentence has only one main clause or independent clause. It has only one finite verb and it has no subordinate clauses, no dependent clauses. A simple sentence will have only one main or independent clause, only one finite verb and no subordinate clauses. Now, the first kind of synthesis that we are going to learn is when two simple sentences are combined to form another simple sentence without changing the meaning. So that means one simple sentence which has an independent clause with a finite verb and another simple sentence which has an independent clause with a finite verb. When we combine these two simple sentences, we will make another simple sentence which will again have one independent clause having only one finite verb. So to combine two independent clauses into a single simple sentence, we have to ensure that the new sentence has only one finite verb. The new sentence cannot have more than one finite verb. So all of you have done the chapter non-finite verbs, which you must remember. What are non-finite verbs? The ing verb, infinitives, gerunds, and participles. You have learned this. So remember, a sentence, when we combine two simple sentences together, we must remember that this simple sentence can have only one finite verb, but it can have a non-finite verb, like a gerund, a participle, or an infinitive, if required. Okay. So now there are 6 methods by which you can synthesize or combine two simple sentences into another simple sentence. The first method is by using a participle. If you remember non-finite verbs, participle is what? The ing form of the verb is the participle. By using a participle with its independent subject, this I will explain to you. By using a noun or a noun phrase in apposition, okay, you can combine two sentences by using a noun or a noun phrase in apposition. By using an infinitive, again, infinitives are non-finite verbs. Infinitive, let me remind you, an infinitive has to combined with a verb, to go, to see. Okay, that is an infinitive. If you remember the chapter non-finite verbs, participle was the ing form of the verb. Infinitive had a to plus a verb. Okay, and the next method is by using an adverb or an adverbial phrase, we can combine two simple sentences into another simple sentence by using an adverb or an adverbial phrase. And the last method to combine two simple sentences into another simple sentence is by using a prepositional phrase. If you remember, we had done the prepositional phrase when we were doing prepositions. So a prepositional phrase used to have a preposition and a noun. It has to have. Okay. So that these are the 6 methods by which we can combine two simple sentences together and make another simple sentence. Now, see, a noun phrase in apposition means it is a grammatical construction in which two elements, normally two noun phrases, are placed side by side. Okay. And an example of an apposition can be the puppy, comma, a golden retriever is my newest pet. That means I'm telling something more about the puppy. That is a noun phrase in apposition. So which is the noun phrase? The puppy, comma, a golden retriever. The noun phrase in apposition is a golden retriever is my newest pet. So this is called a noun phrase in apposition, where you are using some other words or phrase to describe the noun. The noun is already mentioned and separated by commas. You mention something more about that noun. Okay, by using a noun phrase, you say something more about that particular noun, and that is you can separate it using commas. That is how you join the sentences, by using a noun phrase in apposition. We will do all the examples, all the methods one by one now. So the first method is by using a participle. Participle is very simple. You have already done this in transformation of sentences. You will find it easy. Look at the first simple sentence. The thief jumped over the fence. There is only one finite verb, that is jumped. So this is a simple sentence. He ran away. Again, there is only one finite verb, ran. So these two are simple sentences. Now, if you have to combine or synthesize these two simple sentences into another simple sentence, compound sentence will have a coordinating conjunction. You know that. A complex sentence needs to have a subordinating conjunction. So a simple sentence does not need to have those things. Okay. You know that a sentence will become compound if we use a coordinating conjunction or a correlative conjunction, and a sentence becomes complex if we use a subordinating conjunction. So you don't have to use those things to combine. When you are asked to combine two simple sentences into another simple sentence, you will not use a coordinating conjunction. You will not use any kind of conjunctions. Okay. So this method tells you that you have to combine the two sentences using a participle, that is the ing form. This. So jumping over the fence, comma, the thief ran away. We did not use any conjunctions here. We simply changed this finite verb into a participle, writing jumping over the fence, comma, the thief ran away. The meaning of the sentence also did not change. Let us see another example of joining using a participle. She was walking in the garden. A dog chased her. So, she was walking in the garden. A dog chased her. Two simple sentences. How will you change it into another simple sentence? By combining both the sentences. So again, we will use the participle walking. Walking in the garden, comma, she was chased by a dog. Okay. So this is how two simple sentences can be changed into another simple sentence by using a participle. Now the next method is also similar. Only thing is that you have to use a participle along with its subject. We will see how. The police arrived, the mob dispersed. Now see, these are two simple sentences. Police arrived. Arrived is a finite verb here. Dispersed is the finite verb in the other sentence. Now the noun here is the police. So we will use a participle, but then along with the participle, we are going to use this independent subject also. So the police having arrived, comma, the mob dispersed. So arrived will become having. This is the participle that we are using, and along with the participle, we are using the independent subject, the police. The police having arrived, comma, the mob dispersed. Next example of this kind of synthesis is, it was a rainy day. Okay, it was a rainy day, a simple sentence. We had to cancel the meeting. So now what is your subject? It is your subject here. So now we will combine this by using the independent subject as well as a participle. So since the finite verb here is was, we will use the be form of the verb. So it being a rainy day, it being a rainy day, comma, we had to cancel the meeting. It is the subject here which we are using along with the participle being. It being a rainy day, we had to cancel the picnic. Please remember that whenever you are using the participle, we are putting a comma here. Don't forget the commas. In the previous sentence also, please notice that we used a comma here. Police having arrived, comma, the mob dispersed. So the punctuations are very important in both synthesis as well as transformation. Now the third method, by using a noun or a noun phrase in apposition. I have already explained a bit about this. Now you please check out the example and you will understand better. This house was once a magnificent palace. It is now a heap of ruins. So in both the sentences, simple sentences, we are talking about the same house. That the house was once a magnificent palace. It is now a heap of ruins. Presently, it is in ruins. So when we are talking about the same house, we can also combine these two sentences by writing this house, comma, once a magnificent palace, comma, is now a heap of ruins. So we are talking about the house, which the first sentence says it was once a magnificent palace. So we put a comma here and added the noun phrase in apposition, once a magnificent palace. That is, this is telling us more about the house. And we have to put a comma when we are putting a noun phrase in apposition in between. After we have mentioned the noun, we put a comma. After we have mentioned the noun phrase in apposition also, we put a comma. This house, once a magnificent palace, is now a heap of ruins. This is how you have to combine two simple sentences together by using a noun phrase or a noun phrase in apposition or a noun. Now see, Edison invented the gramophone. Simple sentence, he was an American scientist. So this we can use this because this is an extra or extra information given about Edison. So the same person we are talking about. So we can use and write, make the simple sentence as by using the noun phrase in apposition, Edison, comma, an American scientist. We did not miss out on this also, and we made it a simple sentence, invented the gramophone. Edison, comma, and we will use this phrase, an American scientist, noun phrase, because it is describing Edison only. So Edison, an American scientist, comma, what did he do? Invented the gramophone. So this is how you can, this is the third method by which you can change two simple sentences into another simple sentence without using any conjunction. We did not use any coordinating, correlative or subordinating conjunctions, and yet we changed two simple sentences into another simple sentence. Okay. Now by using an infinitive, we have already done this. You must have done this, but you did not know that you're doing it. And you must have done the transformations using this. Now see, infinitive, I've already told you, it is a non-finite verb where you use a to and a verb. Okay. So look at the sentence. He went to Agra. Simple sentence. He wanted to see the Taj. Okay. So how do you combine it? Using an infinitive. He went to Agra to see the Taj. So to see here becomes the infinitive. Okay. So he went to Agra to see the Taj. We simply combine two simple sentences into another simple sentence by using infinitive to see. Now, this is my favorite picture. He is very fat. He cannot run fast. Such a cute boy he is. He is very fat. He cannot run fast. So how will we change it? Now, this very, when we have to use the infinitive, please see that we are changing this very into TOO2. He is too fat to run fast. The meaning did not change. That means he is too fat, he cannot run fast. So he is too fat to run fast. Okay. So we use the infinitive to run here, and the meaning also did not change, and the very here was changed to TOO2. Similarly, if I say he is too weak, he will not pass. So he is very weak, he will not pass in the exam. So he is too weak to pass the exam. He is too weak to pass the exam. Understood? This is how you will synthesize or combine using an infinitive. So this very turns into TOO2. Now, by using an adverb or an adverbial phrase, you know what are adverbs, you know what are adverbial phrases also, you have done them. So we will take up a few examples here. He was looking at his burning car. He was helpless. So why do we have to write two sentences when we can use an adverb here? He was looking at his burning car helplessly. Ly becomes an adverb, and the meaning also does not change, and we have combined two simple sentences into one sentence. He was looking at his burning car helplessly. He forgot his umbrella. That was careless. So again, we will use an adverb here to combine these two simple sentences as he forgot his umbrella carelessly. Okay, he was too careless. So the meaning does not change and the sentences are combined together using an adverb. Another example which we can, I will just tell you. He saved the honor of the country. It was at the cost of his life. So he saved the honor of his country was one sentence, and it was at the cost of his life is another sentence. How will you combine it? You can write he saved the honor of the country at the cost of his life. So at the cost of his life becomes the adverbial phrase here. Okay. These are adverbs. We have joined carelessly, helplessly. These two are adverbs with which we have combined the two sentences. And you can also use an adverbial phrase to combine it. So he saved the honor of the country at the cost of his life. Instead of writing it was at the cost of his life, another sentence, you can combine the two sentences together by using an adverbial phrase. Now, the last method of changing two simple sentences into another simple sentence is by using a prepositional phrase. Now, look at the sentence. The farmer had not finished plowing the field. It was late afternoon. So now you can combine this by using a prepositional phrase. The farmer had not finished plowing the field by late afternoon. So by is the preposition here and afternoon is the noun. By late afternoon is the prepositional phrase in this sentence. So by using a prepositional phrase, we combine these two simple sentences into another simple sentence. The farmer had not finished plowing the field by late afternoon. Okay. I had reached the station. My friend had not arrived yet. So I had reached the station before the arrival of my friend. That means my friend had not arrived yet. So I had reached the station before. So this arrived changed into arrival. Then it became a noun. So what is the prepositional phrase in this sentence? Before the arrival. And a prepositional phrase should have a preposition and a noun. So we have the preposition before and we have the noun arrival. So this arrived, we changed into a noun arrival. I had reached the station before the arrival of my friend. So the meaning did not change, and by using a prepositional phrase, we combined it into another simple sentence. So this is how, by using the 6 methods, we can combine 2 simple sentences into another simple sentence. Now we'll come to compound sentence. So 2 or more main clauses. A compound has 2 or more independent or main clauses, we know. It has 2 or more finite verbs. Because it has 2 independent clauses, it will have 2 or more finite verbs. No subordinate clauses are there in a compound sentence. You know that in a compound sentence, both the clauses are independent clauses, and they have no subordinate clause or dependent clause. And they are joined by coordinating or correlative conjunctions also can be used to join compound sentences. What were the correlative conjunctions? The correlative conjunctions were either or, neither nor, both and, not only, but also. They can also be used to combine to make compound sentences. Okay, both coordinating conjunctions and correlative conjunctions are used to make compound sentences. Okay. So let us see overall what we have to do in this case. We have to take 2 simple sentences and combine it into a compound sentence. Okay. When we have 2 simple sentences are given to us, and we have to synthesize and change it into a compound sentence. So a simple sentence will have a main clause with a finite verb, and a compound sentence will have 2 main clauses having 2 finite verbs and joined with a suitable conjunction. And the suitable conjunction can be a coordinating or correlative conjunction, both. Now let us see some examples. The cloud thundered, the wind whistled. Both are simple sentences with 1 finite verb. So now to make it combined, a compound sentence, very simple, we can use a coordinating conjunction. And the clouds thundered and the wind whistled. So this became a compound sentence. No problem. Next one. She cooked the dinner, she laid the table. Again, 2 actions, 2 simple sentences with 1 finite verb each. She cooked the dinner and laid the table. We just used a coordinating conjunction and it became a compound sentence with 2 independent clauses. She cooked the dinner, she laid the table, and with 2 finite verbs, cooked and laid. Okay. Now let's see. The mother can attend the meeting, the father can attend the meeting. So 2 sentences we can easily join using the coordinating conjunction. The mother or the father can attend the meeting. It becomes a compound sentence. And we can also use either the mother or the father can attend the meeting. That also makes it a compound sentence. Either or is correlative conjunction and or is coordinating conjunction. So we can write both. The mother or the father can attend the meeting, or either the mother or the father can attend the meeting. The teacher was not in the staff room. The teacher was not in the classroom. So the teacher was neither in the staff room nor in the classroom. So neither and nor is also a correlative conjunction which we have used to make it a compound sentence without changing the meaning. So 2 simple sentences, when we used neither and nor correlative conjunctions, it became a compound sentence without any change in meaning. I cannot see. It is very dark. So again, it is very dark, comma, so I cannot see. So is a coordinating conjunction and it becomes a compound sentence. 2 simple sentences combined into a compound sentence by using a coordinating conjunction. It is raining heavily. I will take an umbrella with me. So again, I will take an umbrella with me, for it is raining heavily. So for is a coordinating conjunction, and therefore this becomes a compound sentence. It is raining heavily. I will take an umbrella with me. You can synthesize it by saying I will take an umbrella with me, for it is raining heavily. You gave a reason, you used for, which is a coordinating conjunction again, and made it a compound sentence. So compound simple sentences into compound sentence is easy because you know that you have to use either a coordinating conjunction to combine, or you have to use a correlative conjunction to combine, which you have already mostly done. But the main issue was with the two simple sentences into another simple sentence. There were 6 methods in that. So we will do complex sentences tomorrow. And today we will do only this much, and I will take up any doubts you have right now.